Hey guys, Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Friday, January 10th, 2014. Welcome to the first eBay video of 2014. I know I haven't made an eBay video for about a month because I was tied up with other matters, but the eBay videos are back every Friday. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Today we're going to discuss a lot of the concerns you guys have expressed to me over the last month, some concerns of my own, and some happenings. Firstly, I would like to say that it seems to me, and to most of you guys, that eBay has in fact rectified the problems with the Cassini search engine that plagued the site during the months of September and October. I know my sales are back up, and I believe most of yours are too. While we're talking about sales being up, I just received a large load of shipping supplies from Uline, like I did, remember a few months ago I did a video? Well, I would like to show you a very short clip right now of me receiving this month's load of supplies, boxes, poly bags, bubble mailers for the sports cards. I was out of just about everything. I'd also like to show you my brand new Dallas Cowboys hoodie. Check it out. See that? Given to me as a gift and appreciation for being a good customer. Thumbs up to the Cowboys. I still would like to bring back Jimmy Johnson from the old days, but that's another story. All right, really quick, we'll cut to the shipping. All right, you want to roll that? Looks like I'm the last one, right?
No.
Somebody else in there?
Oh, yeah. You got 2 skids.
Correct.
I got 7 more skids. Are you gonna take me again?
Well, you know what it is? People like to know about where I get the supplies from. I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Basically, it's the material I'm worried about. Last time you had a non-speaking role.
Last time when you were taping me, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. People like to know where I get the material from at a cheaper price. That's why I tell them. Makes Uline money, everybody wins. I do a lot of eBay selling. Alright guys, the important part about buying your supplies is always buy in bulk like that. Buy the pallet if you can. You get a much better price, and very important, you get free shipping. You know, shipping is important, and it's very expensive, especially when it's freight shipping by the pallet. But I get my shipping for free, as long as I spend a certain amount of money, which I have no problem doing. Alright? Let's move on to the eBay topics. I have a lot to discuss. All right. First of all, how many of you guys got an email from eBay the other day thanking you for being a top-rated seller and for giving great customer service? I got one. Gary got one, and a couple of other guys. I think Jerry and maybe a few others. But did you guys get that email? And of those of you guys who did get the email, were you invited to the webinar, which is going to be January 30th? Some of you guys were not invited, some were. All right? I think I know what the key is here. The topic of the webinar is going to be the global shipping program. eBay is looking to get top-rated sellers such as myself who are not participating in the global shipping program into it. So if you're a top-rated seller and you are not yet participating, you probably got the email. However, if you are participating, you probably didn't. So this is great. I have already confirmed my spot. I am going to be at that webinar. I think it's a Thursday, which is great because I can report all the information the next Friday on the video. I'm going to find out everything. And you know, you type in your questions, but a lot of times they don't get to all the questions. But I'll have more on that as the time gets closer. All right. Somebody sent me an interesting email. It was just last night, in fact. And it touches on something we've talked about with regard to buyers being responsible for their accounts and not leaving feedback when they don't pay. Remember how we talked about people who will send you an email after they bid on the item and win it and say something like, I'm not paying you for this item because my 3-year-old kid bid on the item and I don't really want it. Well, guys, it's his responsibility, the buyer, to safeguard his account. And if he's not doing it, he's breaching eBay rules. So one of my subscribers told me a story that this happened to him. A person bid on his item, won the item, wrote to him and said, I'm not paying you because my little kid bid on it and I have no money to pay for it. Would you cancel the sale? So my subscriber is a good seller. He went ahead and he canceled the sale. And do you know that that bidder went ahead and left him neutral feedback? See, that's the kind of thing that pisses me off for 2 reasons. Number one, the bidder is an outright loser. He lets his little kid access his account and doesn't take responsibility. Secondly, he goes ahead and hurts the seller, an honest seller who issued a canceled transaction form. I don't like that. I don't like that a bit. And eBay, as far as I'm concerned, should not allow any bidder who does not pay to leave feedback. I mean, if they cancel a transaction and you can see no money was changed hands through PayPal, it's an open and shut case. eBay needs to step up and protect sellers from these dickheads that do not pay and leave negative or neutral feedback. Guys, I don't think I'm out of line here. All right? I'm all for keeping everything flowing smoothly. But when we encounter some turbulence, I feel I need to bring it up. Okay? My next point. I've always considered eBay the blue-collar auction site, and I consider Amazon the white-collar, preppy auction site. As far as I'm concerned, there's room for both. Both serve a purpose. Over the last year, 2013, a lot of people have felt that eBay is trying to become another Amazon. I basically agree. I feel that way too, and I think it's a shame. And I'll tell you why. eBay started out years ago with mom and pop sellers auctioning off their items and making money. Lately it seems that eBay wants to see only big box sellers. I don't consider myself a big box seller. I'm a top rated seller. Yes. I give good customer service. Yes. I do pretty good on eBay. Yes. And I'm happy there. Very happy. But eBay is eBay and Amazon is Amazon. Now, if eBay wants to expand, and let's say, especially with the fixed price listings, that's fine. They could actually open a second division, a branch, or a tangent, if I may, that is more like Amazon. But I don't think eBay should ever give up its core, its base, because there are so many people that are loyal to eBay. How many times do people ask you for a certain item and you say, well, did you check eBay? I know I say it all the time. How many of you guys have ever said to that same type person, hey, have you checked Amazon? Not me. I get people all the time asking me for obscure car parts and stuff, and I say to them, did you look on eBay? And they'll say, oh wow, what a great idea. I have never once said, did you look on Amazon? Because you're not going to find blue collar stuff on Amazon. Amazon is very restrictive as to what you can sell, and I think they're doing themselves a disservice. I saw a video that somebody made talking about eBay booting off some more sellers and saying, well, these sellers make eBay a lot of money and I don't think they should be booted off. And quite frankly, I hate to see any sellers booted off eBay unless they're a real scammer or someone that offers poor customer service. But the same goes with Amazon. I don't think they should be so restrictive. I mean, they're only hurting themselves. That's just my opinion. But again, I would like to see eBay continue as eBay, our blue-collar eBay. And if they want to expand and do some Amazon-like programs, that's fine too. There's room for both. What's your opinion on that? One thing that happens to me, and it really bugs me out, I think I've talked to you guys about this before. It's eBay related to a point. As you know, I have an account in eBay Motors where I sell hubcaps. Lots of hubcaps. I also have this brick and mortar store. Now, occasionally, maybe once every 3 months this will happen, and I'm telling you, it drives me freaking nuts. A guy will come in here, he'll walk in carrying a hubcap, and he'll say something like, I need a hubcap for a 2010 Toyota Camry. Do you have it? And I'll say, oh yes, I have that in stock. And he'll say, good. And he'll hold up this hubcap in his hand and he'll say, I bought this hubcap on eBay from somebody and it's wrong. I want to trade this to you for the right one. Guys, I could not make this up. This happened just recently. I said to you, of all the nerve, I said, you don't buy it off me and you want me to take someone else's garbage back? You know? I said, I have a question. If you came in here and bought it from me and it was wrong, would you return it? Yes, I would. All right? I said, all right, if you bought it from me on eBay, would you return it if it was wrong? Yes, I would. But yet, he won't return it to the person he bought it from. This has been an ongoing problem. All right? It's not a huge problem, but it's an annoying problem. Think about it. The guy would not come in here and buy it from me. He bought it from some guy on eBay and out in Oshkosh, and he wants me to take the guy's thing back. Ain't gonna happen, guy. I give returns on my items. I don't give returns on anybody else's. Crazy, right? One flaw I've noticed recently is people will buy an item, do a buy it now, and you know how sometimes they'll put a note to seller like, would you please send it in blue, or would you please send it in gold, or send me a large, or send me a small. Now that's fine. But twice since I made my last eBay video, I had people write to me and say, hey, I put a note in for you to send blah, 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 you know, another color or another size or something, and you didn't do it. And I went back and I checked and I said, no, you didn't. There's no note in the eBay transaction at all. And they'll say to me, oh, I didn't do it on eBay. I did it through my PayPal account. And that's a problem because all we as sellers get is a confirmation from PayPal with the guy's address that's verified and what he bought and how much it was. But if there's any note, it doesn't come through. So, consequently, I didn't get the note. I went ahead and I fixed the guy's problem. I didn't even check in PayPal to see if he even left such a note. But I just figured I'd put that out there and see if any of you guys had the same problem. Okay. Auction versus fixed price. This is something we've been talking a lot about the last year. I want to keep this line of communication going. Back in the day, eBay was mostly an auction format. Over the years, they have been pushing the fixed price listings, and quite frankly, I like the fixed price listings. The biggest complaint, I think, with any of you guys on a completed transaction is deadbeat bidders. Now, I'm only talking about completed transactions. Remember how I used to come out here years ago every Friday and moan about my deadbeat bidders? I fixed that problem. No more deadbeat bidders for Joe, because I require immediate payment and all my items are in the fixed price listing format. Now I realize there are certain of you guys that sell items that lend themselves to auctions. Okay, I accept that. You're in a different line of business than I am. But sadly, there is no way in an auction to require immediate payment. Therefore, a lot of you guys are getting stiffed. And that's wrong. I have said many times about this. I said, eBay should require a down payment, especially from new sellers, so that they can't stiff anybody. ID verification is very important with new sellers. I've seen people talking about this on YouTube as well, and I definitely agree. Anybody who creates an account should have their ID verified. I'm very big on that. It would do away with a lot of scamming and a lot of stalking. And I hate to keep bringing this up, but if you remember back in 2012, my stalker was actually creating fake eBay accounts to bid on my items and not pay. And he was able to do it because I was listing at that time auction format. My stuff was auction format. He would create these fake accounts, these burn accounts, bid on my items, not pay, leave me negative feedback, and then, the icing on the cake, he would make a video about it proving he did it in his own voice. Those videos still do exist. If you would like to see them for yourself, I have queued up the exact page on the site that those videos are hosted on. If you would like to browse through them, there's only about 50 of them or so. But, you've got to see them. It's ironclad proof that people used to be able to make these fake accounts just to hurt sellers. Now, of course, with the fixed price format, that eliminates this crap. Alright? That's why I'm so big on fixed price with immediate payment. I'm not against auctions. Auctions have their place, and I hope you guys who list in the auction format do great. But I am telling you, they lend themselves to the deadbeat bidders, so be prepared to encounter the deadbeat bidders. Conversely, you don't have to worry so much about these stalkers and haters making these fake accounts, because I know eBay has finally taken steps to ban some of them. The most prolific ones, if you get what I mean. A few comments about YouTube. I talked last week about comments disappearing, and a lot of you guys wrote in with the same problem. What I think is causing it, I've done some research on this. Look at the comment box below. Make believe you're going to comment right now on my video here. You'll see there's a little box that's pre-checked that says share on Google+. Alright, if you leave that box checked and you type in a comment, your comment will probably stay up. However, if you uncheck that box and type in your comment, I believe your comment might get wiped off, because mine did. I'll tell you why. I have no problem, in essence, sharing my comments on Google+. It's great. You get the word out. However, believe it or not, if you're one of the few unfortunate people who actually has a guy stalking him, he goes onto my Google Plus channel to see whose other videos I've left comments on, and then he sends them hate mail. So there were times I unchecked the Google Plus thingy. And I think that's what causes comments to disappear, because a few of you guys have written in with the same situation. I would like your input on this, if you've come up with anything. And guys, don't be afraid to speak up. Whether it's an eBay question or a YouTube question, I don't care. I'm not going to jump down your throat, and neither will any of the other subscribers, alright? Unless it's somebody with a fake channel. We're here to help each other. I've told you this before, guys. I'm a member of several Facebook groups dedicated to eBay sellers. We help each other. Nobody screams at each other. Now, I realize this isn't Facebook, this is YouTube, but I want to keep this channel clean to help you guys sell on eBay. Any questions you have are more than welcome. Type them below. If you need immediate answers from me, then you have to inbox me with a PM. if you looked at my video I made 2 or 3 days ago, YouTube has changed how to find your inbox, and of course didn't put out any press release. So go to my video that I made 2 days ago and you can find out how to get to your inbox. If you really don't feel like watching my video, all you have to do is sign into your YouTube account, which you're probably already in. At the very top of the screen you'll see the word upload. There's a drop down button. Click on that. Click on dashboard. On the left side click on community. It's preset to comments, but I believe it's 2 below comments. You'll see a link for inbox. Click on that and you're there. It's that simple. Alright, I think that's about it for this week. Let's rehash. Number 1, the most important thing. I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching. Any YouTube questions, eBay questions, PayPal questions, type them below or PM me. I noticed a lot of times a person will post a question like at a weird hour in the middle of the night and somebody else will come up and answer their question, and that's great because that's what this channel is about. People helping people. Alright? Thanks. I'm Crazy New York Driver. See you next Friday with an eBay video, but I think you'll probably see me before that with other videos, including some location New York City stuff and some other stuff as well. Rock on, guys. Thanks for watching my video, the whole thing. Especially you guys who are watching this section right now, made it throughout the whole thing. I'm sure a few people may have bailed before that. Thank you.